Good morning. Good noon. This is our sixth attempt to get on the internet today. A whole 38 seconds in. We're hoping YouTube and Facebook stay live. This is a simulcast on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And the first whole minute of the day. Oh yeah. Oh my God. With the poor Jewish, not the poor Jewish, the Jewish people are undergoing anti-Semitism in Australia, of all places. That used to be the bastion of safety for the Jew. Because it's not in the Mideast, and it's not in the United States. It's not in South America. It's in its own island continent, in the southern hemisphere, for God's sakes. Yeah. And bam, you get an Arab father and son have decided they will commit death by cop by firing upon the Jews, killing a bunch and injuring more. All right, we're 2.5 minutes in, and we're still simulcasting. We are simulcasting over 2 social networks, Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And, yep, here we are, alive and in color. It's a little bright in here. Let's just turn it down another notch. Can I turn it down? Yeah, I can. Oh God, we just lost Facebook. We're going to continue. I don't get it. Me, I had to fool with the light. Maybe that's the problem. I had the lighting turned down too low. I don't know. Now I gotta switch what you call them. Yeah, swap cameras. There we go. Anyway, on that happy note, there's my watch face. Colorful display at 9:53 this morning when I started trying to simulcast. And I got right up to 3.5 minutes, and then Facebook fagged out. I guess that's just the internet connection. I restarted the computer, I restarted eCam Live, I restarted both. But the internet is, at one point this morning, it was very robust. It's probably robust now. Ping is 25. There's that P word again. Ping is 25 milliseconds, which is not so good. When it gets under 20, when the ping gets under 20, you look, the upload speed is flaky at best, 44 megabits per second. There's another ping at 25. Let's stop midway and give it another shot. See what happens. Ping at 16. Oh, yeah. See now we're tooting. Let's see if that helps. The jitter is 35. That's not good. 35 millisecond jitter. That's the intensity of the waves, so to speak. Upload speed at 41. That's pretty terrible. Yeah. No loss. 47 megabits per second up, and 333 megabits per second down. I'm paying for 2,000, and I'm getting 33. That's 17%. You know, come on. I'm paying for 100%. I get 17. What's wrong with this picture? Yeah, that's what's happening. Sports fans. Yeah. Ouch. Anyway, there's my watch face on my Ultra 3 titanium case. I think this is an Ultra 3. I get to the point where I don't know which one it is. I think it's the 3. I think it's the only one you can buy, right? Where's the Apple Store? Apple Store. Hello, Apple Store. There we go. Okay. For you. For anybody. Go further. All right. Orders. A gift order. What the heck is that? Already delivered. Yeah. Okay. How about Apple Watch? Ultra 3. That's it. Ultra 3 is... That's all you can get. I have this one. Black. Black on black in black. Ultra 3. Alright. I was just wondering. Get to the point where you don't know. Get to the point where you don't know what your own name is. Alright, we're done with that. Internet is amazing, huh? You can you know, all right, how do you get out of here? There we go. Let me go back to my photos. We're speaking on YouTube Live. We lose them and then we're out of business. Then I'm talking to myself. How about this nice, cheery... Our Christmas trees are getting smaller and smaller. Well, small. We keep taking the same one out of the box. It stands up about 18 inches tall. That's about it. Used to be 8 feet. Now it's 18 or 15 inches. And there you got Mr. Claus, Mrs. Claus, a couple of kid Clauses, one Claus that's wrapped up in bandages from head to foot, and then there's the hat. Look at that diamond-studded hat. Oh yeah. Put that on your head, it weighs 27 pounds. It's Tuesday, it's the 16th. Yeah, we've been trying like crazy to get on the internet. So, I mean, this is sick. Fall in the Family. Remember All in the Family? Where you had Rob Reiner was the meathead. Hey, meathead, get down here. Yeah, Rob Reiner was the meathead. I believe that's how that worked. Yeah. So they have kids, right? Lucky them. And Nick Reiner is the one, at the age of 32, slits the throat of his father. You talk about they supposedly had an argument at Conan O'Brien's house. They took it home with them, and the son slit Daddy's throat. And assuming he didn't want to get any blowback from the wife, whoosh, slits her throat too. Fall in the Family. Family's screwed up forever. Rob is going to go to jail forever. Parents are dead. I think I have a picture of Fall in the Family. There you go. Father, stepmother. Oh, I don't know whether she had that kid. I don't know. So the daughter, she's survived all this crap. Yeah. Remember Carl Reiner? He was the dad. He started all this. Carl Reiner created the Dick Van Dyke Show. Biggest selling TV show in the history of TV. Oh my God. And then, of course, he created All in the Family. And who came down the stairs? Meathead. Come on down here, Meathead. I got something for you. Boy. Carl Reiner died of natural causes on June 29th of 2020 at his home in Beverly Hills. Carl Reiner, yeah. There he is, Rob Reiner. Very animated arms, hands everywhere. Sun kills them both. Nice picture of the two of them. At the Kennedy Center, honorees for something. Rob Reiner and his wife found dead in Los Angeles home. Oh, sad is that. Let's see if we can clean this image up and get rid of this. Bingo. The magic of digital photography. Thank you very much. We have now gotten rid of that programming thing that says go. Oh, there's a little spot I got on my thigh. I'm gonna send that to my cardiologist. Not my cardiologist. my plastic surgeon. Chad Borden Avenue, that's where Rob Reiner lived. Found dead alongside his wife. As soon as I read that, I figured, oh boy, sounds like a murder. Or it could be a suicide. No. Rob Reiner, he talked too much to be suicidal. He talked all the time. There's my putty cat resting in natal position. That position looked very reminiscent of when Caribou passed away. So I see that and I get very nervous because he is 15. I had a lobster tail and those marvelous little rizzoli potatoes, whatever they call them, and a nice fillet. This was at Seasons 52. Winter storms in the northern part of the United States. Some Seasons 52. Here's entrees: wood grilled, hand rubbed pork chop. Yuck! That's top on the menu. Not for Jimmy. I went all the way down there to not brick oven gnocchi. I went down to wood grilled fillet. And Marilyn said, well, how about adding a lobster tail to that, just to celebrate a little, which I did. All I want for Christmas is for God to continue to heal my mind, my heart, and my soul. May His peace flow softly through me, guiding each step into a new year with strength and more grace. Amen. That's what I read on December 13th, or 14th, right around in there. Then I got all tied up with this stupid Powerball thing. Now here's something that's very interesting. You may have recalled that there's been a lot of testing going on, including yours truly, on matching up Canon's R5 camera. I have an R5, which is a 45 million pixel Canon camera with incredibly low noise ratios and all that. It can do videos. It can do still images. So when you got an SLR, a single lens reflex camera, that can take world-class mural-sized videos, and then switch to a still image camera that can take super mural-sized still images with a resolution of 45 million pixels. Amazing. So now, the iPhone 17 Pro is matching up against the 6K cinema. You have 4K, right? Which is like your 85-inch screen bolted onto your wall. Weighs a couple 100 pounds, yep. We have a Samsung TV. It's Ultra 4K. Well, now they have 6K, which is almost 8K. But 6K is, 50% better than 4K. All these Ks. Meaning 4,000. And they're matching it up against the 17 Pro camera. The video part of the camera. Because the iPhone 17 Pro Max has a video camera, still image. And the bottom line, it's very, very, very close, if not equal. As a matter of fact, unless you actually were the videographer for a particular performance, you wouldn't know one from the next. This picture of this iPhone lady way back 15, 17 years ago. And she's modeling these glasses that have little sensors in each temple that can take stereo vision, still imaging. So you can do video, you can do picture taking. It communicates with your iPhone. It superimposes an image on each glassine, so you can see your computer right straight in front of you with the traditional icons to, dealing with starting an app or whatever. They're still trying to figure out how to make it work so that it makes sense to even have it. I don't quite get it yet. I guess I'll have to get a pair and try them out. They're getting into the $150, $200 range, so instead of $3,000, which is out of range. Yeah, you're not going to experiment for $3,000. I'll experiment for a couple hundred. Yeah. It's in my DNA to do that. Anyway, so that's why that is there. Because now they're matching off the stupid iPhone against shoulder-mounted gear. Look at all this stuff. And the iPhone is close, if not better. See if you can, where's that picture? Yeah, see if you can take that shoulder-mounted thing and shove it inside a coffee maker. This is a device that cooks the coffee beans just before they get ground up. So it has a little pipe fitting thing with a screw thingy, and that holds the iPhone, with this magnetic mounted. Oh, no, the iPhone's already mounted on there. And then there's an output that's dangling. Anyway, that's why that picture's there. Tesla enters Consumer Reports' top 10 most reliable brands. Yep. What's this? A sleepy little island out there in the middle. You got to get a boat to get out there. And where is it? What is it and where is it? I'll tell you. Hold on to your britches. Where is that picture? There it is. Gasparilla Island. Florida Department of Environmental Protection. Florida Park Service. Gasparilla Island State Park. Yeah, all the kids with their blankets and their peanut butter and jelly sandwiches wrapped up in cellophane that Mama made for them. A couple of those sandwiches each with a little ice bag in their Ziploc and a little drinky poo. And we all motor out to Little Gasparilla Island. All right, another little piece of controversy all over the state of Florida is, you have these different myflorida.com, Sunshine State. Can you block out that? Can you block out that? What can you block out? What has to remain unobstructed view of the license plate number and the decals. Information on the bottom of the plate is not considered a primary information and can be covered by a frame. The top says a plate frame that impinges information on the as long as the law enforcement can identify the state issuing the plate. That sounds a little some of these Florida crackers up there in the northern part of the state. Imagine getting a ticket because myflorida.com is blocked out on a license plate cover. Even though you can plainly see the tag number and you can plainly see, the sticker which says Florida on it. It also gives you a ticket for any one of these, and he can be held in front of his approving authority, The department clarified that any information at the bottom of the plate, which is seen by the state website, county, is not considered a primary failure. Anyway, Florida is attempting to clarify this information for the court system. And the executive director of the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles issued a memorandum to all Florida law enforcement agencies. Hello? Who is it from? David Kerner, the executive director of the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles. Obscured license plates. On October 1st of 2025, the Florida statute 320.262, license plate obscuring devices prohibited, penalties went into effect. This memo is intended to provide additional guidance in the use of a license plate frame. Subsection reads as follows: covering, obscuring, or otherwise interfering with the legibility, angular visibility, detectability of the primary features or details, including a license plate number and validation sticker on the license plate, are prohibited. Interfering with the ability to record the primary features detailed in it is a violation. This act does not prohibit the use of a license plate frame as long as the frame does not obscure the visibility of the alphanumeric name identifier and the decal located in the top right corner of the license plate. Two things, okay? The Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles does not consider the information on the bottom of the plate to be the primary features of the plate. A plate frame that impinges on the information at the top of the plate is permissible as long as law enforcement agency has the ability to identify the state that issued the plate. For reference, in the 2019 case, the 4th District Court of Appeal. Anyway, so that supposedly clarifies that. So if you got a ticket for anything that has to do with myflorida.com or Sunshine State, they gave you a ticket because part of that was covered up, or all of it was covered up, but the alphanumeric tag number and the decal, if they are unobstructed, you're in compliance with what the executive director, David Kerner, has told all law enforcement agencies on December 12th. This is December 16th. So this is pretty current news in the body of news. So know that. This December 16th at around 12:36 p.m. Here's another P word. There's our friends sitting on our dining room table. I'm showing you pictures of things that remind me of what I'm going to talk about. Yeah, wow. Yeah. Oh, Gasparilla Island. Gasparilla. I've been out there. King Charles speaks about his cancer treatment and his recovery on TV show promoting early screening. Yeah. The Trump administration promptly came out with its statutes regulating artificial intelligence, or not regulating, so that all the states themselves won't get out in there and start regulating crap they don't know anything about. So, in order to promote domestic tranquility, the president, in his wisdom, decided to enter the beginnings of regulation of such stuff. Duty challenges. Yeah. Let's gonna move this guy over. There we go. Get him out. Oh, crap. Now I gotta bring it back, and it's gonna go all over that again. I gotta shrink it down. And get it over here out of the way. Crap. Do it again. There we go. My finger's a little... Get a little movie. That New York Post wasn't too happy with the fall on the family. Wise guy. Yeah, boy. Over the weekend stuff. Fall in the family. On a lighter note, Scotty Scheffler wins Player of the Year 4 times in a row. This is his 4th straight. The only other player to win 4 in a row is Tiger Woods. Can you believe it? And now, Scotty Scheffler this year is going to try to win to make it 5 in a row. Cantlers. Cantlers is open. Apparently there was a time where Cantlers wasn't. There was some road construction or whatever. And it seems like the roads are cleared and we are open. If you're curious about how to warm up today, how about a fresh dozen crabs and a hot cup of chicken tortilla soup to melt away the chill. Hope to see you soon. Kids love to beat up these crabs. They're steamed and ready to munch down. Or you can hang out at the cove and watch. Look at that boat that stands 4 stories tall. It's like a 4-story office building floating through the bridge. Yeah. Through that bridge. There's a little video of it. Going through the bridge. Nice. Quick little video. 5, 6, 7 second video. You can see them hanging out on the back of their big boat. Hung up in Fort Lauderdale. Sitting out front. Looks like they got a couple of jet skis on the top of it in the front thing there. How would you like to sit on the top? There are 2 seats. There are 2 seats right on the very top of that sucker. Can you believe it? Get that sucker. That gets that rocking and rolling. There we go. There's the 2 seats. Yeah. With a radar unit spinning around next to you. There's the coconut shrimp covered with corn mixture. There's the Boca Hotel. Marilyn and I got married at the Boca Hotel 45 years ago. Would you believe it? And right there. We stayed at the Beach Club, which is this building there, the Beach Club. Yeah, 45 years ago. That was a 14-second video, by the way. But who was counting? There she goes. Yep. Bingo, yeah, it goes back to the beginning. It just keeps going back and forth. And I zoomed a little bit so you could see the people in the back of the boat sitting around having cocktails and hors d'oeuvres. There we go. There's Jimmy. Marilyn's got her little Christmas balls on her ears. Yep. Yeah. She's stuck with old Jimmy. if there's anything else I want to talk about. I wonder if anything happened with the Powerball. Did we win? It's a 300 million to 1 shot. So you talk about a dart. It's like getting hit by lightning. Winning a $1 billion lotto. Think about 35% of $1 billion. That's 350 million. That's what your cash out would be. Lump sum cash out after tax, about 35 million. It's about 45 million. Excuse me, 450 million. We missed it by an order of magnitude, as Elon Musk would say. You know, no one has a clue when he says an order of magnitude what that means. It means a factor of 10. Yeah. Order of magnitude. 450 million is the cash out. You get about 35. Darn it. 350 million in the checkbook after tax. Yeah. So as soon as you get that check, they're gonna take out 25% right away. Let's do the math. We got my trusty calculator out here. Clean off the what do you call it, and clean this up. So we're gonna say, I'm just making this number up, but it's within like 10% of truth. Plus or minus 10, you can do that. So let's say 475, 000,000. 475 million is what your winnings is what your cash payout will be, because you don't want to accept the 100 million a year annual annuity thing, or 125 million a year annuity. Can you imagine? For 30 years, they pay you up front 135 million, and then you get 29 more payments of 139 million, or paid out over 30 years. That's probably not a bad idea. Put the annuity in the name of a trust with trustees, and if you drop dead, then trustees move up in rank. Anyway, so now the U.S. government's going to withhold 25%. So that means you retain 75%. So we're going to take this times 0.75 equals. There you go. That's where I get that 356 million after the 25% holdback. Now the question is, are you going to owe that other 11% that gets you up to that 37.5% number? So, in theory, you're going to retain 89%, or let's just say 90%. So, times 0.9, 320 million. So you're going to get 320 million no matter what. Yeah. So you might get as much as 345 million, but you couldn't retain less than 320. So if you want to be smart about it, you take the 320 million and you put that in one account, and you put the 25 million in a tax account. Just in case you owe all of it, you got it all to give. Because you don't want the government chasing you for 25 million. Because that's a pretty serious chase. And, you know, you want to let your accountant handle it. Because if push comes to shove, the accountant's going to say, hey, Jimmy, I quit. You know. But if you have the 25 million in a side pocket, the accountant will hang around. He just doesn't want any, you know, any of that nastiness falling off on his shoulders, for sure. And as a $320 million cash holder, there's not many people on the planet that have $320 million in cash. Now, I tell you what I would do if I had won $320 million. I would immediately go, I'd go up with my checkbook, and I would go to APMEX, AmericanPreciousMetals.com. And I come up here to my what do you call it? Presently, if you wanted to buy gold coins, the spot gold price, anyway, so you want to get this coin right here. Now, if you're going to buy $100 million of those, $100 million worth of that coin, so let's go back to our calculator. What is it? $46.81. Let's just say $4,700 a coin. All right. 40. Let's take 100 million and divide that by $4,700 a coin. That's 21,000 coins. I think that would take them a period of time to assemble that package. We'd like 20,000 of these. Let's just round down. We want 20,000 of times that $4,700 coin. That's $94 million purchase, sir. 21,000. You can see that. That's the Y chord. 21,000. So now we're going to go back up to my order page, and we're going to increase that to 20,000. It only goes to 2,000. All right, so we can only go 999 at a time. Add to the cart. Unfortunately, we only have 197 of these items in stock. Please give us a call. All right, we'll take all 197 of them. 197 of them. That's $1 million worth. You must call our sales department to receive approval. So they're going to sell all their goddamn buffaloes to you. They want to make sure you're for real for a $923,000 purchase. Yeah. And tell them we want to make 10 more. We want to make 10 more purchases similar to this. Can you make that happen? And then they'll go get the coins. Yeah, because they make a couple $100 per coin. So it's worth it for them to go on around. And if you can't buy the gold buffalo is the best bullion coin out there. The question is Is there another bullion coin? I don't know if there's another American bullion coin like that. Let's look at British gold coins. Random year. Let's go to product specifications. 1 troy ounce. The diameter and the thickness similar. The metal content is 1 troy ounce. Brilliant uncirculated. I guess that is a. Let's go to product details. Produced between there. No, it's 0.9167 fine gold. It's just like the U.S. coins that are not bullion coins. So that's not helpful. The Canadian maple leaf. That is a bullion coin. Let's look for it. The Cougar Hand. Where's the Canadian? Gold coins. Golden Eagle, golden maple leaf. This is it. The maple leaf. Random year. Say 0.9999999. That's what you want. So you could buy a bunch of these. These are good. Let's see how many we could buy of these. Add to cart. Well, they only have 82 of them left. All right, so you got the Canadian maple leaf there. That's a bullion coin. 1 ounce maple leaf. We don't want quarters and all that kind of stuff. This is new, the 2026 version. They have 223 of those. 239. So let's take 239. 239. We wiped these guys out of let's just say 230 of those. Add to cart. That's $1 million. Yeah, give us a call. That would be, that's $1.9 million. We got 197 of those. We got 230 of those. Let's round this down to 190. Just for simple math. And we'll get rid of this. We'll remove that guy. So now we got $1.9 million order. Yep. Anyway, so that's how you have to shop around for your gold. So that's what I would be doing. I'd be shopping around for these. You know, you'd sit down with the sales guy. You convince them that you're the recent lottery winner and you want, $50, $60, $70, $80, $100 million worth of gold bullion coins. And we want a case of those sent down here. The tubes. A full case of tubes, whatever that represents. We would like that sent down to our condominium apartment here. And the balance of the $100 million coin you can keep up in your vault. Our name. And you can fill it up with bullion gold coins at your going rate. And just put them in there, package by package, as you assembled the package. And I'll check back with you next week, and we'll wire transfer up whatever you want, or whatever the cheapest delivery method is, or we'll write you a bank check, and we'll get that mailed up to you, or FedEx to you, or we'll, the quickest way is to wire transfer the money, and that way it goes from our account to your account, and bam, in 2 days you got clear funds to go shopping, to buy up all the gold coins in your inventory. And then if you have to go shopping to get more, then do so. Go to the U.S. Mint and say, hey, I need 5,000 yeah, 10,000. Yeah, you need 10,000 bullion coins. They got them. And if they got a buyer, a U.S. buyer, which we are U.S. buyers, they would love to make that purchase. So just for the safety, everything, now all hell breaks loose, you got gold coins. And you want them here, you want them there, you want some, you're going to get some shipments sent down here. And you're going to put them in several bank, what do you call them, lock boxes. So you get lock boxes and several, TD Bank branches. TD Bank is a nice big global bank. Convenience places, Yeah. All right, well, I'm all ready to win that prize. That's the next thing I do is I get a nice condo. I buy a nice condo for us. Shop around quickly, get the condo, and maybe it's inside the pearly gates of the Alina. Just buy it in Alina. That's a nice spot. It's right facing east. You can get up 8 stories, 9 stories in Alina, facing east. And you overlook the golf course. And then you can also, you've got some ocean view. And you're far enough, you're 4,000 feet from the ocean, so even if you get hit by a tsunami, your building isn't going to wash away. Yep, that's what I would do. It's 1:06 p.m. And we got an hour under our belts here. It's been hard going today, I'll tell you. I had to restart the internet twice. I had to restart my computer twice. Roadcaster is doing well. With my KS, my SN7B microphone right here. That's the best. Yep. Turn up the brightness a little bit so you can see it. SM7B by Shure. SHURE. This thing is a magnificent device. Yeah, just talk right into that puppy. That's the best way, is talk straight into it, just like that. And I'll go full screen here so you can see. Talk straight into it. Hello everybody. How low can it go? Yeah, you can go pretty low. I'd have to turn that down just a little bit so we can get really low. But you know, we don't want to over-modulate it. We are competing a little bit, but there we go. We finally get Epidemic Sound Instrumental under control, or royalty-free background music, which we have downloaded onto our system. And it's kind of like our background. Yeah, you're like sitting at Denny's, having a little chit-chat, having a little lunch chit-chat, where Jimmy's doing most of the talking. I got news for you. Give me a live microphone. I can talk all day long because I have my cheat sheets. And you know what they are? It's my 107,000 pictures that I have on my system right here. And I can, there's a personal foul for you. This is a personnel foul. This is the personnel department's nightmare, where you got a guy making $6 million a year, right? And he's fooling around with the cheerleading staff or whatever. Accused of cheating on his wife. Pictured with his wife, apparently. And he's fooling around with somebody else. Now, it's a shame you can't keep your pants zipped up. One of the top college football programs in the country was thrown into turmoil as Michigan head coach Sharon Moore is accused of cheating on his wife with an assistant at the school and has been fired. He was paid $6 million a year. And he's just been, he threatened her with a knife. Yeah, this is a classy guy here. Yeah. Matters of the pants don't work out so well. All right, this is a whole bunch of Florida Atlantic University FAU. And the FAU, Fort Lauderdale Chamber of Commerce, something or other. And there's Marilyn Wright, smack in the middle, seated, looking very professorial, actually. Yeah, with her nice sneaker, loafer, what do you call them? With her magic sweater. And a bunch of other people. I got all kinds of things. Here is that thing that measures the amount of millimeters of mmHg. That is millimeters of mercury. Hg is the atomic symbol for mercury. So the doctor pumps that up, to like Hopefully it doesn't get into that shaded zone of 160 to 240, because that means you're about ready to explode. And then, so he pumps up this little ball thing that's down here, which out of sight. Just pretend the ball thing is down here. So he's squeezing that up. Gets it up to whatever he thinks your systolic level is. And then, with the two fingers, he rotates that knob right there. Yeah, he rotates that knob. And that lets out the air that's been pumped up into your cuff. And here's to and from the cuff. That's what those two connections are. They're locked down and they stay locked down. But anyway, so they put the cuff around you, and then he starts pumping this up, getting up to that 140, 150 level. And then he opens up this valve very slowly, and he takes his stethoscope, and he puts it right on the crease of your arm that's stretched out open. And he listens to that blood vein, and it's silent. And he's waiting for it to go bum bum, bum bum, bum bum. And that would be at what pressure blood begins to flow. And then as it gets down to that somewhere between 60 and 100 level, there's a secondary flow that he's listening for. And that is the pulse. That's between the pulses. And when that's maximum volume, he makes note of that with his eyeballs. And so, yeah, so that's the level between the pulses, and this up here is the level of the pulse. So that's the maximum pressure that's in your arteries. And then the lower number is the residual pressure between the pulses. Yep. Hypertension increases the risk of dementia and cognitive decline. Heart disease, stroke, and dementia are the first, fourth, and sixth leading causes of death in the United States. Unfortunately, only 1 in 4 people with a history of high blood pressure have it under control. I'm one of those 1 in 4. Oh yeah. Matter of fact, I went on. Let's go to Amazon. Let's see if they have any doctors. DOCTOR blood. Let's see what this says. I don't want the electric ones. I want the pump up the mercury ones. Let's go down the bottom of the list. You've seen this one in the doctor's offices. They have this thing. They put it on. They just push a button, and the Jamaican nurse just walks out the door. There's a El Cheapo version. No, we don't want El Cheapo. I want that one that's made out of chrome. No, I don't want that. That's getting closer. It's getting closer. You could probably go to a professional Chrome. Enter. See if that helps. Amazon.com. Amazon doesn't listen to the search criteria very often. I probably got too many search terms in there. Let's just all right, let's try this one. We got rid of some of those ancillary medical terms. Yeah, that's no good. I found that picture. That was the perfect one, but I don't recall where I got it. Oh, here's an crap. Let's open up Chrome. Let's try this. And we'll just look at images. Yeah, it'll prevent us from having to dig through all that crap. Now we're getting closer. We're getting closer. eBay is a good place to get this kind of stuff. All right, let's try Santa Medical. Yeah, I want this. There you go, there's a little pressure plunger. Let's visit that one. Aneroids, syngomometer. That's it. Request prices. should do it. An error has occurred. Let's try that. An error has occurred. There we go. A live search, folks. Let's go to my eBay. There we go. That's right. My eBay. Sign in. I'm signing in with Apple. Apple. How is it working? Is it working? It's taking too long. Sign in. We have internet connection. Let's take a look. Yeah, we seem to have internet connection. Let's see if it's working. Seems like it's working. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. There we go. Up and down, yeah. All right, so it's working. Touch my eBay. There we go. I don't know what the password is. got it right here. So the picture I just captured is on top of this list. Recently saved. There it is. So now what you do is you just highlight these words and look it up. We can find it on Amazon. There you go. You want it in black or red or what? You name your color. And they have all kinds of different flavors of knock yourself out. Go back here again. All right, that's enough. That's enough. We're gonna check out. It's 1:40. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow morning. Hopefully before 10.